It's an hour and a half?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Etho, and welcome back once again to another episode of our Let's Play series.
What the hell,
How you
chat?
doing today? Thank you for joining me today, guys, for this special occasion. Today is our 500th episode. I just checked. It's actually been over 7 years since we started this series, and the game has changed a lot since then. I've changed, and the goal for today is the
you guys
world
all
tour.
love this
Every
guy.
50 episodes, we try to do a world tour.
I see so many people
We're
in
gonna
chat
go around, check out some of
talking
our
about
old
him.
projects. We had another world before that, but we had to abandon it due to updates when the hunger came out. We started here, and
Did this dude just say when the hunger came out? When did hunger come out? 87? 88?
this is the man cave, guys. This is our main base. Probably my favorite thing I've built in this game to this date. And I also took inspiration from the old 404 challenge, which was a map where you didn't use torches. You had to light up the cave as you went along using lava. So when I built this, I had the idea of using hidden lighting throughout.
Using what?
Here is our ender pearl dispenser machine. Step here, get ender pearls, nice and simple. This is a world backup, by the way. Then over here is our pop-up sheep farm, which should be working, I think. What we do is go over here when we want shears, or we can hit this to get them. And basically you run through, you shear the sheep, and then you have the option of manually putting them down with these buttons. I'm like trying to think how this works as we go. And then there's these like open areas here with pressure plates. When the wool falls down, it'll automatically trigger the sheep to go down if there's wool here. So if we press the button, let's see if this works. Still a little bit broken, but it's fine. You see the water pushes the wool down, and when it triggers the pressure plate, then that sheep goes down. And then there's bud switches detecting when it eats the grass, and when the wool is fully regrown, it pops back up. So it's kind of a cool little thing. And actually, let's go ahead. Yeah, so all the wool goes down this stream here. Whoop, let's follow it up to here. Then there's like an elevator system to bring it up. Over to here, pops up into this chest. Let's go back to normal. Whoop. And ends up in here, and then I just take it out and put it into here. And there's also a button here for manually putting all the sheep down after you shear them all. This was our first main storage room, and it's still the one I use a lot because it has like a little bit of everything in the chest, which is nice and very convenient.
I can only take so much.
Oh, it just turned nighttime. That's our nighttime lullaby, and then we have a daytime one too. Okay, back to our main area here. We have the creeper face, which I'm pretty sure was the first thing we built in the world. And it's just like a symbol of the base or the man cave here. We got Zenith here, our super horse. Actually killed a wither while riding Zenith, which was very difficult to do. I've tried it again since then. I haven't been able to actually. Leads and speed potions for our horse stable here. This is where we keep our guys. And basically, we can hop on. It triggers some tripwires there. The block goes down. We can go out. And then when we want to park it again, block goes back up. That way they don't wander aimlessly around our world. Everybody's favorite Tamagotchi pet in Minecraft. If you don't know what this is, basically it's a mini game within the game where you got to try keep him happy and healthy. Make sure he doesn't die on you. And it's kind of like a mini computer almost, where basically that's his happiness level, that's his food, his overall weight, and then that's the important part there, his health. Depending on what level that is, it affects his face, like what expression he has. If it hits 0, he dies and you lose. That's his age meter there. It goes up the older he gets. And right now he's sick. He's got the zigzag. So in order to cure him, you got to feed him golden apples. He'll randomly get sick every so often, depending on his health. If his health is low, he gets sick more often. Oh. He's like fluctuating between 1 and 2. Then you can feed him. You gotta wait after every interaction for a little bit for that to go back. But we'll cheat. And we just fed him, so now his food went back up. And basically it calculates, like, depending on that bar, and that bar, it adds up his total value, and it either adds or subtracts to his health there. Behind the creeper face, of course, is our Nether Portal. I had a real thing for sandstone and emeralds for a while. Oh yeah.
Don't say of course! Don't just say of course!
And you can, like, turn on and turn off the portals. Something I do every so often. Let's see. Where's a flower farm for getting the blue flowers? Minecart runs underneath and picks them all up here. This goes up to the UFO. Basically, you stand there and you can fish cows. It really doesn't seem to work anymore, unfortunately. This here is Project Pokemon. Originally, we were trying to collect one of each of the different villagers. Not realizing you couldn't get the green ones. You can now, though. Then I added a switching system to it, which seems to be damaging them for some reason now. A bit concerning. This was our first giant potion lab. We built this when brewing came out. Also the very first etho door here. Although this is a spiraling one, not the quick version.
Very first what?
This was like, honestly, this was the first really complicated thing I built, I would say. Let's go spectator mode again.
He invented
Like each
a
of these
door?
buttons, I had to individually separate and stuff, and then wire up here. And basically, it leads up to this room here, which, if you remember over here, let's go game mode 0. To get into this room, there's a hopper minecart underneath here. It detects when you throw an item in, opens up the door, and that leads into here, which stores all the ingredients for the potions. And when you press the buttons down there, it shoots out the items according to how many you need. And they all funnel down to the middle here. Game mode 3, game mode 1. Alright, and basically you stand right underneath the middle here, and you press whatever you want here. So if you want glass bottles, you hit that. If you want nether wart, you hit that. Gunpowder. And it all just kind of falls on you here, and all the brewing stands are just within your reach. But then later, let's go check out the new potion system. I think we're done in this area. This is the one I'm really proud of. Ethoslab is what we called it. Or more brewing stands in over here. Really like how it looks. It was a unique idea. Basically,
You guys seen Westworld? This looks like where you pick out your hat, and then the robot who comes up to you, like, "Hey, would you like to have sex?" And then he was like, "No, thank you. I'll just take this hat."
we chain the brewing stands together, so it adds one ingredient each phase here. And at each phase, you can access the chest. So it starts out awkward, then it turns into night vision with 3 minutes, then 8 minutes. Then it adds the spider eyes, turns into visibility, adds gunpowder, turns into splash potions. So any potion you want at any step, you can get here, stored in bulk. We have a netherwort farm built into this. Works pretty good, but it also helps to make the build look cool, I think. Look to it. So we got leaves in here, we got regular brick, water, some random flowers and garbage all around. This is our mob system here. Just regular mobs. They drop down into the hoppers, end up in the This is a shulker box storage system that has a search function, which was a weird idea I wanted to play around with. And it also has a menu system, so you can select what items you want. So basically, you put your shulker boxes in here with your various different items, and then if you want to like find a certain item without like looking through all the boxes there, let's say we want some sand, select it from the menu there, you throw it into the hopper, and then it'll check all those shulker boxes for any that have sand in, and they should end up here. So that has sand in. And then if you want to cycle to the next box, you step on the pressure plates. This one also has sand in. Another one with sand. We got a lot of sand apparently. And then they end up back in here. Also the menu item ends up back in here. This is the llama vader. This actually works really good. I'm surprised. When I was building it, I was like, oh, this is so sketchy. This is never going to work right. But it's good. It's actually really good. And then there's a call button up here too for getting them up. Voice crack. Aha. And hop on and you go down. Outside here we have the mushrooms to indicate this is our musical mushroom farm. Basically the idea here was to have detectors. I wanted to do something with bud switches. This is our get your snacks. Totally random build. Doesn't serve a purpose, just to introduce a video, basically. Alright, very good, very good. I believe we have finished up with the man cave now, so we can continue on our tour outside. Yeah, so this thing with all the chests is what we call the book matrix. This is what actually stores the enchanted books. You see they're all labeled. You can't actually sort enchanted books that I know of. There's no way to. So we put them in manually up there for long-term storage, and then when we want to do enchanting, we come down here. And we can choose whatever book we want just by clicking the buttons here. So we just selected efficiency. And if we click that, we'll get smite. Basically, we wait a little bit. They come up through the ground here. So that's our efficiency book. And that's our smite book. You can see the library up on the mountain there. We actually built a road that we're supposed to ride horses down to get to the library. It kind of winds through the mountains and stuff up to the library. Each of these lights on the road has a daylight sensor, so that it turns on during the nighttime. Okay, guys, so now it's time for Sandy City. Let's go check this out. One day, while working on the man cave, I think I was doing the map wall, and I got a little bit depressed, to be honest. It's like, I was looking at the maps, and it's like, there's nothing on these maps. I've built nothing above ground. Everything was in the man cave, right? So I got the idea to start this biome enhancement project where basically this was an empty desert. It was very boring. Nothing special about it. So I was like, why don't I just build a city there, right? Out of sandstone or try and make it look good. So that's kind of how this all started. Right now. I guess the one special thing about this build is the well here. I think is pretty cool. You hop in, pushes you into the nether. Then another thing we did recently is we put in this weird thing. How do we activate this? Is it just the pressure plate? Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Etho! Aha! A long time ago, when the sandstone wells came out in the game, I decided, hey, let's make one. And in the world, we have 2 ice farms. This is the second one we built. This is the good one.
Do you think there are communities in Minecraft? I want to talk. Here's my goal. Here is my goal, 2020. I want to become friends with a Minecrafter. He could be a streamer. He could be a YouTuber. Just one. I want to become friends with one because I gotta know the different communities. Like, you think this dude talks to Waddles because they're in like the same, and then what if Waddles and what if they don't talk to like Philza and all those, and they don't talk to Captain Sparkles because they do like the mine, and then none of the people I just named talk to Dream and George and all of them. There are so many different avenues.
The Ender Portal. A lot of you ask about the Ender Portal, if I'm gonna work on it. Honestly, I had a lot of trouble with it. Whenever
Ender what?
The idea is this would suspend an Ender Pearl in the water. You press a button and it would like tell another Ender Portal off somewhere else to let the Ender Pearl land, and then you would teleport there. The problem is when the chunks would load, sometimes it would just randomly activate. For the longest time, we had the diamond door. It's a pretty easy thing. Basically, you make people curious what's behind something or what's in something, and then you pretend you're going to show them, and then you don't, and you do it several times, and it's funny. Yeah, to me anyways. Eventually I did decide to put something behind here. The redstone room, where we have like a nice open space where you can do redstone projects. The idea was to make a smelting system and see how quickly we could get it to work. Like, how fast can we actually smelt something in Minecraft? That's somewhat reasonable, right? Is it 64 or 128 furnaces or 256? I don't remember. It's a lot of furnaces, though. And...
Wait.
Like, that's how quick it smelts. It makes a lot of noise. It's killing my ears right now. The Nexus, the whole idea with the Nexus is to make a storage room that you can automatically sort items. So, I think there's 256 different items it can store in the chests there. And then it also has a retrieval system, which is what makes this unique. Here is our hexadecimal encoder, where we have 16 buttons. So what you do is hit 3-5 on our thing here. Hopefully I do it in the right order here. And that changes the code up there. And then you pull the lever, it'll request the item, hopefully. Or another option, instead of pulling the lever, you can press these buttons. This one will give you 16 items, this one 32, 64, or 2 stacks, I think, with that one. There we go, finally. That's one of the big problems of the system. If I was to redesign it again, I would try to make it even faster at delivering the items, and also I would like to be able to see how many items are in the system, because I'm kind of like blindly requesting them with that. This is where the items actually get stored. Kind of a cool little area here, game mode 3. Maybe check out some of the wiring. Yeah, up over here, this Eats Road takes you to the first Enderman farm. If you ever wondered why it's called an Ender, this was the very first original Ender. It was actually a comment. I asked people what we should call this thing, and somebody suggested the name Ender, so that's what I called it, and then other people followed suit. They called their Enderman farms Enders, and the rest is history. This is the first design, though. Back in the day, Enderman farms weren't really a thing. People tried making a few designs, like they used the cone-style blaze farm a lot originally, or they just stood in the middle of their island. They flooded the island and tried to attract the Enderman to them. I decided to try to do a piston system where we drop them, and it gets them down to 1 hit point, and then you look at them, attract them, and kill them quickly. I did it just for ender pearls originally, but it was so effective at getting XP. Is like, hey, this is a good XP farm too. Later, the Zip crowd figured out a way of using vines so that you could stack the different layers, and that became the standard for Enderman farms, and I kind of copied a lot of that in our second farm here. When I did the Ender 2.0 here, though, I did try to do a couple unique things with it to make it my own. And finally, guys, that brings us to the Ender 3.0. This is our current mob farm, and it still works very, very good. I like it a lot. I get so much XP from this thing. But the idea is you spawn the Endermen over a large space. They run pretty quickly now. That was a change made in the game. And they are attracted to an Endermite in a minecart here. And they fall down the chamber, and below it we have the random music making machine. Just as a fun little thing. So we'll check out the Nether next. This is what connects our world together. Starting with the Nether hub here. This is our main area. That's just my opinion.
He's in the Nether right now?
So yeah, we got the Nether hub here. Here's our third gold farm. This is the one we currently use, and it still works very good. Very, very good. This is where I get most of our XP. The idea is you stand on the platform in the middle here. Again, nothing spawns because we are in spectator mode. So let's go to game mode 0. You shoot the zombie pigmen, and they get attracted to each of the sides here. They fall down into a chamber there. Oh yeah, and because they're aggressive, we kill them, and then they drop their drops. And then the XP gets shot up the middle there and right underneath us. Travel down sorting system here. somehow. They get ejected down into these chambers where they get stored. And then this is a shulker box filling station. So basically, it fills up the shulker box. Once it's full, it breaks it and puts it in the chest down below here. So further on in this tunnel here, we come across our newly renovated blaze farm, dual blaze farm. Later, we renovated it here with the purpur and sandstone blocks. There's like a switch to shut it on and off. Releasing lava so it lights it up and they can't spawn. They get collected down below there in minecarts. They move up, ejected to the middle there, then they get pushed down into the chamber there. And as more and more blazes, first off, we're going to check out the clay mining outpost. This is something I set up to mine clay easier. There's a system for automatically sorting the different colors into the chests here, and also for, like, if you want a storage minecart, you hit that, sends it down to where you do your mining, and then when you return it, it goes up into the sorting system. So you can mine clay and you don't even have to come back to drop it off. You know what? I am going to cheat a little bit. This villager will not leave his house for some reason. So, there's supposed to be a villager here. Yeah. And then, basically, it releases the water. We got some stuff built with this Rube Goldberg machine, but it could be added to quite a bit. But first step of it is the waterfall, which is pretty slow, so let's get another guy. We'll just put him in there. And apparently that didn't work. Is the string missing? Oh, that string update, I tell you, it was the worst thing ever. Yeah. All the string in my world got deleted. It's so annoying. He goes over the gravel pile. Oh, but villagers apparently have the ability to control minecarts. I forgot about that. Oh, we got a guy. We got a guy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What a fail. It's all going to get fixed in the next updates. Villagers will no longer be able to control minecarts or other mobs. Anyways, after they go through that initial step, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of other stuff. And eventually they end up at this part where they go into the cliffside. And it's like, wait, what's going on? Is this the end? Ba-ba-boom! And he shoots his giant flamethrower at this village. Drearyville is what I called this. Something I built, I think, for the 400th episode special, if you want to check this out in more detail, how it was supposed to work. And basically, he's mad at the world. He wants it to burn down. And he destroys the mining outpost here. And hidden throughout the whole place here, we got some TNT under, like, the logs and stuff, so as it burns slowly, more and more of it starts to ignite. The horse was the enemy, I believe, and he was trying to kill the horse, which he succeeded. Good job. I just wanted to build a flamethrower, basically, and have something to destroy. Here we go, guys. This is going to be the final thing on our list to check out today. I decided to skip over the mini base, the one tall base, one high base, whatever. The amplified base. Partway through the LP series here, I decided to switch over the world to amplified. And hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't know if I went too quick, too slow. I tried my best, guys.
So, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I actually worked really hard on this.